All right. Welcome everyone to episode of Omchain Talks. It's a little bit early today. I don't know if you've noticed. Usually, what we do is that the Omchain Talks are happening roughly on 6 p.m. UTC. But today we have an early Omchain Talks. It's one of the first times. I think it's the first time that we're having it this early. But as you might know, world is global. So while it's early in the morning for some people in some countries, it might be the afternoon, it might be the evening for other people. So we'll have a few rotations along the way because we have different projects, different guests from different teams. And not everyone lives in the same time zone. So today we'll be actually talking about the importance of community in Web3, and we have Tyler from the VINU project because their community is very active, and we would like to hear the truth. We would like to hear feels from him. So I think I am just trying to find if Tyler is here. Let me quickly go and you know check it out. Let me go here. Okay, you might be here my keyboard. That's fine. That's totally fine. I'm trying to see. All right, yeah, the link is there. Everything is there. Soon we'll have Tyler joining us, and then hope that it's gonna be another awesome home chain talks. Again, as I said, it's a little bit early. So I might not have all the jokes ready because it's daytime. All right, just waiting for him to join. Um, all right. Think there are a few people joining from the Vitaini community. If I can get just the username. Let's see if Tyler is here. I'm just trying to find. All right. Let me just see. Yeah. Think. All right. So is this here? Tyler, you hear me loud and clear? Is everything all right? Welcome to the
Yes.
Omchain Talks.
Hello, hello. Thank you for having me. Yes, I can hear you perfectly. Sorry for the delay here.
Yeah, no worries. I was just talking about this is, I mean, like, I don't know which time zone you're in, but it's one of the earliest on-chain talks that thing because it's 9 a.m. UTC. But again, I was just saying, world is global. It might be morning for some people, it might be evening for some people, it might even be midnight for some other people. So, we're good, and we're glad that today you're here. So if you're ready, get started. I think.
Let's do it.
All right. So, as you might know, on-chain talks are not like your regular AMA session, and then there are like prepared questions, and then you just come and answer those questions the same way that you have been answering for the last maybe like year, and so on. It's basically like I have some questions, and then I'm curious about some things, so I ask them to someone who has experience in that field, and then we get the answers, and then we get to talk, we get to make jokes. We get to become political, not too much though. Criticism is allowed, no worries, no pressure. So, but before we get started, I would like to understand the VINU project. Could you tell us a bit more about the VINU project? Like, let's say I'm a guy who like has no idea about cryptocurrencies or anything. So for the first time, I'm seeing VINU. What should I think? What should I feel? What does it tell me? Like, could you tell us more about the project? And then I'll be asking questions about you, if that's okay.
Sure. I think the most important thing to take note of when we talk about VINU, I think a lot of people caught up in VIX, and they think that it's just a meme coin, but the reality is that a meme coin like VINU has far more utility than most non-meme coin projects. We solve baseline issues in crypto that we've seen since its inception. We've all been around the space on the core team of VINU. That is, we've all been around the space for a long time. and mostly involved with DAG-based projects. So we're actually solving an issue of fees and transaction latency. So those are the two main things that I think are most important to note when we talk about the VINU project. It's fast and keyless. Of course, there's a multitude of other things like being transparent as a core team, and you don't really see this in meme coin projects. So we're sort of trying to reinvent the space and make it a safer investment, the meme coins in general, by being transparent, by offering real utility within the crypto ecosystem. Um, so yeah, I guess that would be the
I
answer to
mean,
that.
I think the main reason is that when a project is more community oriented, community is not like VCs. I mean, I know that VCs demand a lot of things too, but usually if you look at the other projects, they have a few large backers, and then they build some product. Along the way, I can say that 95%, 98% of the projects fail. This is not specific to crypto. Of This is the very nature of innovation as well. Startups. But when you're working with VCs or certain individuals, you're more relaxed. You can how do I say, take it slow. You can work on the product. Whereas if a project is community oriented, you have to constantly deliver something. And I can say that this is, while this might be stressful, this might be pushing things most of the time, it actually brings the utility. Because then if you don't bring any utility, if you don't add any value, the community members would simply say, okay, this is not what I was expecting, and I will just try to find something else. So that's why I am usually seeing that meme coins, not just the meme coins, but usually projects that are led by the community or that have a lot of community influence are all delivering better products than the ones they're backed with VCs and so on. Because there's you see what people think, you can interact with real people, and that there are people who care about that project, even
For sure. Yeah, let me chime in here because I really like
yeah,
what you
yeah,
said.
go on, go on.
But I think there's a distinct that needs to be made between traditional meme coin communities and between one sec here. Yeah, okay, sorry about that. I had some disruption in the background. Yeah, there's a distinction that I think needs to be made between like certain types of communities. Like we can see certain meme coin communities with people that are just there because they think they can make short-term gains. And of course, I think that's the end all for a lot of people in crypto. It's that they're just there for making a little bit of money and then getting out of the project. They don't really believe in the project. So when we talk about like community as a whole, I think it's really important that projects really cultivate and they target the type of community that they want to have. So, for example, our project, we built it not on BSC initially, not on ETH, not on Solana, but on a smaller novel network that actually addresses key issues in the crypto space, and we build upon that. So, like we built on the VEET network. The VEET network is a gasless network, works on a quota system, and it addresses fees and transaction latency. So we built VINU on top of that because we want to expose people and we want to expose people to DAG-based technology, direct basic graphic. So that this sort of protocol, it addresses these core issues. So when we started cultivating this type of community, we did it from the top down. We showed our enthusiasm in that sort of technology, and it's not about the gains. It's not. Of course, it is about the gains and it is about the money, but at the same time, it's not because we know that there's a bigger purpose for crypto in the world, which is self custody of assets. Um, and self custody of assets is only scalable if you're feeless and if you are instant transactions. So this is the sort of mantra that we've built over the past year or so. Now we're building a layer one project as well, which is also going to be a DAG protocol. But yeah, like I think important to really cultivate the community with the same sort of mindset that you have as sports, and yeah, that's super important.
I think the important thing for at least the audience to understand that building a product or being a product oriented and trying to deliver the best product out there and hope that it will make you money is different than targeting to make money. Because of course at the end, just like you said, I mean, we're all in this because this is our jobs. I mean, if we weren't thinking about money, we would be doing whatever we want. Maybe I would be doing the same thing because I like what I do. But aside from that, if you want to make real money, if you want to have a real business, then you would need a real product that solves a real problem in real life.
Exactly.
And
Exactly.
just like you said, I mean, like, I just want to add one thing, and then I'll let you speak. Sorry, I talk too much usually. um the thing is that most of the projects out there, they're just trying to pick up something, whether that is AI, whether that is some spaceships, whether that is some alien that was spotted in California. Just pick up that concept and be like, okay, it's the alien spotted coin, it's on Ethereum network, that means that a lot of liquidity will be added, so you can buy. But in fact, that doesn't mean anything. I mean, that may be making money for them, but I don't see it as real project, real business, or real product.
Yes. And like just to go off of what you said, like, and a lot of these narratives that are being pushed in crypto, like they come and go. Okay, ZK rollups. This is an amazing part of crypto, honestly. But like AI in crypto, it's not even compatible with crypto. And Andre from Phantom, he said the exact same thing. It's not even relevant to crypto. Yet a ton of projects are just they're seeing cash flow into their I don't even want to call them projects, but yeah, they're projects just because they have AI in the description, which is completely nonsensical. And to go back to what you said, yeah, like the focus here should not be on the gains; it should be on the product, building utility, building a community, and marketing it properly. Because if you do that, price follows product, especially if product is coupled with marketing. So it's super important for people to understand this, and building a community that actually believes in the project itself, I think, is a lot more valuable than just short-term marketing to drive up price, because price is sustainable long term if it's coupled with marketing and coupled with a real product.
Yeah, so let's get back to you a little bit here, if that's okay for you. So tell us a bit more about yourself. I mean, like, how did you end up in crypto? Because everyone has a story. Either it's like, hey, my friend was talking about Bitcoin and then I didn't listen, and 5 years later, I'm into crypto. Or it's like, hey, I saw some webs trying to scam me. I read Bitcoin and then I got hooked in. Or like, what's your story actually?
My story. All right. Well, I got involved in
I mean, like,
crypto.
if it's not too personal, I mean, you don't have to answer. There's like, there's no pressure. So if you just want to answer, I mean, like, I was curious. That's why I was asking.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, I'm fully transparent of how I got into crypto. Obviously, I got into crypto like everyone else. I thought it was cool and trendy. But then I started to find out a little bit more about like the real world use cases of crypto, especially with the Nano project, Ryblox. Is how it started, and then rebranded to Nano. My brother got me into that. I started to see like the value in like instantaneous and feeless transactions, even at a micro level. And then it just sort of went from there. Got involved into other DAG-based projects. I saw like a huge gap between the projects that are valued at over $1 billion and the ones that aren't, and the difference in network characteristics. The ones that are valued far less should be valued far more. So yeah, that was sort of my thing with crypto. Like I got into it because it was just trendy at the time, and then you take a deeper dive and you find out like that there's a lot of use cases in crypto, like that can be applied to the real world. Avalanche with building subnets for using for like Amazon using subnets for warehouse inventory management, things like that. Just crazy use cases that really improve bottom line for Web2 businesses.
I mean, one thing that you said is, it really got me. I mean, crypto, things are not valued with the technology. This is perhaps one of the, how do I say, saddest parts, especially if you're developing some product, some infrastructure, and so on. Because usually in the market, it's like, hey, I have this product that you were paying for you're paying $100 for, and my product is like literally the same or even better, and you can get it for $70. You would be selling your product. But here in crypto ecosystem, it's not like that. The technology, I mean, the better technology, the cheap technology, the better product out there does not get appreciated as much as it should be, because I think that it's more related with the communities or the people who are following that asset. Because if you ask me right now, I'm going to be honest here, even though this is my business, and I'm working in crypto and so on. I can say that most of the projects out there are overvalued, and they're not valued based on their utility or cost efficiency or whatever. They're basically valued because this is what the community thinks or what the people thinks that it's valued. That's why I think if you have a product that is valued 90% of the time because what people think of it, Then of course we have those huge price swings. Then of course we have Ethereum going to $1,000, and then 2,000, 3,000, and then going back to $500 and so on. It's not the first time that the market cycle is happening. The market cycle happens on all industries, but in crypto we can see that more clearly, feel that more clearly, and I think that's because people just think, or people just assume that it should be this much value, and it's that much value. So yeah, that's why I just wanted to add a few things up.
Yeah, for sure, for sure. Just speculation in the market as a whole. People looking for short-term profits. The volatility goes crazy. A lot of people get hurt. The whales make money. Yeah, classic stuff.
Yeah, right. Another question, I mean, like, the thing that I was wondering is, like, do you take any input from the community, or the project is led by the team and then community can suggest things, or like, do you have any inclusion of the community in the governance, or like how is the project structure, or the governance, or the management structure of Vita? This is also what I was wondering, because most of the meme coins, they kind of seem like, I mean, I know that VINU is not just a meme coin, but in that category, most of the meme coins advertise that they're a community project, whereas it's not the real deal. There's the theme, and the theme does whatever they want. So I was just like wondering, what's the situation, the atmosphere like in the VINU ecosystem?
Yeah. So obviously there's a duality component because there has to be a core team that makes key decisions, especially early stage, to sort of get the project off the ground. And there's always a runway before liftoff, right? So obviously for the past year or so, we definitely listen to the community. I mean, the community is the only reason we're here, obviously. But in general, like, we do have to make key decisions. We have dev funds and all of these other things, and we have to be wise with the way that we manage the project, and push it in the direction that we want to see it go. And we have to also be vigilant, like, when it comes to listening to quote unquote community opinion, because sometimes people within the community, they're only there for short term, and they're not seeing the fuller picture, and what's in the best interest of the project long term. And we want to see the project succeed long term, even after we're gone. So, for the first year or so, we've obviously had to pull the trigger on a lot of decisions that we feel are in the best interest of the project long term. And we have the DAO governance, which is going to be deployed very soon, where the community is going to be able to vote on key decisions. So yeah, there's not anyone's trying to conceal that there is a degree of centralization at the start of the project, but then as time goes by, it becomes more and more decentralized. But getting exchange listings on key tier 1 exchanges, it's not as simple as, hey, let's get everybody to go raid OKX's tweet into this VINU. It's not really how it works, especially for reputable tier 1 exchanges. You have to provide due diligence documents. You have to provide docs core team members, and you have to have someone that's there as sort of the liability, in case something goes wrong. So there's always a level of centralization in projects, especially at the beginning, but then it becomes more decentralized over time.
Yeah, I mean, I can understand that, because I mean, I also like to have the community support and involvement in our project as well. But at the end, if you how do I say, if you think about it from the project's perspective, you cannot expect everything to be done by the community. So that's where I really agree with you, because then you can, how do I say, then you can go to exchanges, pass the KYC, make payment to people for their services, talk for partnerships, and then have a roadmap. So but in the end, I hope that Vitaino could be how do I say, sustained, could be sustained by the community, so that people like you, people like me, do not have to be, how do I say, constantly innovating, constantly delivering things to the community. Because I feel like when there is a project, when there is something that's mostly valued, mostly being thought of, mostly, how do I say, promoted by the community, it should be led by the community as well. I mean, over time, of course, if not initially. So thanks a lot for your honest answer. The other thing that I was wondering, if we can get back to with Aina, the other thing I was wondering, even on the website it says that Viniverse in VR chat. So like, how did that metaverse idea came out? Like, was Vita Universe developed for metaverse, or was it just there as a product? Gas the transactions or lower transaction fees, and then you guys chose to position it with the metaverse. Like, would you like to tell us the story behind there, if that's fine for you?
Yeah, yeah, yeah. So in general, I think having a VINUverse, let's call it that, is super beneficial for the community itself. It's a way for people to interact. It's a way for people to interact with the ecosystem on the universe. So like integrating different products onto the universe and being able to interact with the ecosystem on the universe is a really cool function. It's something that we are working towards. It's not necessarily the number one priority at this moment, but it was definitely one of the main ideas behind the project is to provide a universe where people can interact with the ecosystem as a whole and then continue to add products from the ecosystem onto the universe as time goes. So, and we have a really vibrant ecosystem. We have VINU Swap, which is a decentralized exchange with zero gas fees. We have VINU Pay, which is a payment processing platform. We have VINU as a non-custodial wallet, a bunch of other things like VINU Finance, decentralized lending as well. So like all of these things can be integrated in the universe. So it's just a cool way for people to get like an all-in-one experience, interacting with community on the universe and interacting with the products in the ecosystem.
Yeah, that's cool. And the one thing that I was wondering, like, is there a specific reason you chose VR chat to build Viniverse on top of, or usually when I see a metaverse project, it's like it's either something that they developed in Unity or Unreal Engine themselves, but it lacks user interaction, lacks the functionality. It usually such products usually have hard time attracting players, people, or users, let's say. So, is there a specific reason that you chose VR chat?
To be honest with you, I couldn't tell you, but I believe it's because just the foundation is really strong, VR chat. Not, if we were to develop from the ground up, I'd say that there's going to be a lot more bugs and takes a lot more time to get everything done. But maybe eventually we'll do something like that. But I believe that was the reason that we selected VR chat. We have so many projects, to be honest with you. I'm not involved in every single one of them. We have so many different ecosystem projects. So I can't give you an answer directly, but I think it's something along those lines.
Yeah, I mean, like it was kind of trick question from my side because for the last years I've been saying, I'm seeing a lot of demo videos, I'm seeing a lot of metaverse stuff, and I'm like, guys, there is something called VR chat. It's been done in 2017. It already exists, and I think I personally have over 1,000 hours in VR chat. And I'm like, it's a product. It has an SDK that you can build your own, world. You can, upload your own avatar. It has all the interactions. It has the community. It has the guides. It has the events. It has the users. So why not just build something on top of that? And I'm going to be honest. It's the first time that I am seeing a crypto project that's building things on top of VR chat. That's why I was curious about it, and that's why it kind of made me happy because um, like I am a software developer, right? It's not metaverse if there are no people using it. It's not metaverse
Yeah.
if if there are not many human interactions. I mean, you could see a lot of videos from the people that how do I say, that share a video from some 3D dimensions or something and claim that it's a metaverse, and I'm like, I don't even know which avatar, right? So I can't even do any interactions in the world. So so much for the metaverse. But that's the one thing that I really liked about Viniverse. So that's why I was asking. So getting back to what you just said, like, you have a lot of different products, you have a lot of different stuff, so that I can understand. From that I can understand that there's a lot of different markets that you should be advertising, promoting, or marketing the products. So when it comes to that, like, what's the role of the community, or what's the role of the marketing? Because, like, even at Omchain, we provide the scalable layer one infrastructure, and then we have a few products, but all of the products have different audiences, and we're like, God, Jesus, we have to come up with five different strategies, five different products, and I am seeing that you have more than 10. So like, do you come up with 10 different strategies, or like do you just involve the community? How does that work? This is what I was curious about.
The cool thing about like what we do, I think, of course, we're launching our layer one as well, and I hope that we're able to collaborate with you guys in the future on that. It's called VINU Chain, but the cool thing about VINU as a whole, every single one of the products, is that you're able to interact with each one of those products fast and seamlessly. So every transaction, everything, it's all minimizing fees and reducing latency. So I think in general, it's pretty easy to market those things. Of course, we employ like cool marketing campaigns for all of that, giveaways, as well, like really promoting each product with good user experiences, user interfaces. But in general, like the marketing has always been about, for every single one of our products, is about the fee aspect and the latency aspect. So like Venus Swap as well, like it's a gasless deck. So like that in itself is marketable. Venu as a crypto, fast and fearless transactions. Um, uh, just it's I would say that that's sort of like the basis, the crux of all of our marketing. It's fast and fearless.
I think it's kind of similar to what on-chain is communicating, because our slogan, it used to be, I think we might have changed it last week. I'm not so sure. I don't do the marketing. It should be some easier. If you can go to our Twitter accounts right now, you can see it in the titles. Because at the end, as I was saying initially, it's about the product. It's not about, hey guys, this is the best technology out there. It's the layer one. It's the roll up. It's the ZK. It's something. No, it's not about that. It's about the end user. The You have to first understand why the end user is using blockchain. Let's say it might be some person who does not have any access to banks and who wish to transfer money. And then if you charge them $20 for a transaction, of course they would be like, hey, wait a minute. I started using your technology or your product because I thought it was cheaper, it was faster, it was more available. But it turns out that it's not cheaper, it's not faster, and it's not more available, because at the end you have to go through some KYC processes from the exchanges and so on, to obtain the cryptocurrency if you're not. So and then, especially coming from the country where the banking system is really active, where it's really advanced, it's very well developed. As a Turkish person, I can transfer money instantly without any fees, up to maybe $1 million. It would arrive in maybe 5 minutes to the recipient. So it's like, if I have to build some product, I have to be competing with the other real life products. This is we were always saying with Omchain. We're not trying to compete with Ethereum. We're not trying to compete with Solana or anything. We're trying to compete Amazon's infrastructure. We're trying to compete with fintech companies out there, because at the end, if I want the blockchain adoption, I have to be delivering an end product that is at least as fast as the other end products, and at least as reliable as the other products in the market, so that I can have the advantage to compete. Otherwise, it is just going to be speculations from the community. No one would be using the network, and all sorts of problems. So this is why I like when you said about the fees and the latency. It's nice to have someone here in the Omchain Talks that shares the same vision that we have in Omchain. So again, I mean, like, thanks a lot. I just wanted to add this.
Definitely.
All right. So I have another question. So this is for the, of course, VINU community. By the way, am I pronouncing the name correctly? Is it like VINU, or is it like, how should I
Yeah,
pronounce it?
Vita Inu or
VINU.
Vita Inu. Yeah, Vita Inu. Yeah.
I mean, like, I'm not an English native. I don't know if that's even an English name. Like, where does the name come from?
Actually,
Is
it
it?
just comes from it comes from Vite network. So we wanted to do like an Inu for Vite, so it was Vita Inu. Yeah.
All right. So it's coming from the, yeah. Okay, now I see that. So I was like, is this a dog breed that I was not aware of? And then now
No,
it's
no,
clear.
no. It's a new one. Yeah.
No. Now it's clear. Thanks a lot. So like, for the community members, do you have any upcoming products that are going to be launched soon, or like any, how do I say, things that wouldn't be spoiling things, like things that you're allowed to say, things that you're allowed to talk about, things that are not so secret. So if there are like any how do I say, features that are going to be released soon, I would like to hear more about that. I think the audience also would like to learn some insider information.
Wouldn't we all?
I mean,
Uh,
like I would call it insider because it's like sorry that I interrupted, but I'm like working with the theme, and we have designers, marketers, we have developers, and so on. We have partner companies that we're collaborating. So basically, if there's a news, there are like 100 people, 200 people knowing it, and then they're like the community is like some people have insider information. I'm like, they are working on the product or they are working on the collaboration. Like it's not insider information if you're working with the information. So but like aside from that, if there are things that you're allowed to speak of, so that those are the things that I would like to hear. I mean,
yeah. Well, I would say one of the big things, obviously, is VINU swap. We're trying to finalize that right now. Put it on mainnet as well. We're in the process of raising money for VINU chain. I think that's all that I can really say right now. We're working towards some tier one listings, but it takes time. Hopefully, we can do it soon.
I mean,
And
like which exchanges are you listed on right now? I haven't checked that actually. It's sorry for that.
yeah, we're listed on Bybit, Mexio, Huobi.
A lot of
Uh,
options.
yeah, cool. And we're aiming for a couple of bigger ones, but we'll see.
Yeah, it's yeah, I am checking the coin market cap page right now. It's a lot of options, guys. It's not a financial advice. I'm not giving any financial advices here on the Omchain Talks. But if you would like to, learn more about VINU and their products, what you can do is like you can click on the VINU's profile that you see as a speaker. It's the main and official account, and then you can tap on the follow button, and then you can go to VINU.org link, which is on the profile, and then you can learn more about the project, and you can decide want to buy in. So it's really good that you have a lot of options. So one other thing that I was wondering or wanted to ask, like, um where is your community from majorly, or where is your community? Yeah, I
It's
think that's the right way to phrase.
yeah,
Sorry, English is not my
it's
native language.
it's hard to say. We're all over the place, to be honest with you. U.S., Canada, Europe, Turkey, all over the place.
But it's like sometimes people say how can I say, like, Southeastern Asian people, or like communities from there are more in games and like play to earn stuff, whereas let's say North America is more into NFTs, whereas South America is more into, how do I say, fintech and products. Like, do you see any distinction between the community members? I mean, like, they might be from all over the place, but like speaking from like looking it from your perspective, like, could you say, yeah, we have we have community members from all over the world, but these ones are, how do I say, from that region people are more how do I say, inclined to be interacting with Ainu, whereas in that region more looking into the release of that product, for example.
I don't know. We haven't really made that distinction, to be honest with you. We just sort of build the baseline for our project, market it based on what we believe is important, and we attract all types of people, to be honest with you, like from everywhere. It's not really, it's hard to really pin down a specific location. I think people from everywhere want fast and lists, so it's pretty easy to pull in all types of people from
Yeah,
that.
yeah, I can relate. I mean, like, it's still, how do I say, I still just cannot understand a few things about large layer ones. I mean, if I was dealing in transactions that are worth, let's say, $1 million, 2 million, 10 million, sure, I would use one of the major layer one. It wouldn't be a problem to pay $5, $10 fees, but I am still seeing people paying, even with 3 cents, 4 cents, even if it doesn't seem too much, just for transferring, let's say, $50. If you're paying, 50 cents as fees, then it's basically 1% fees. So I think this is one thing that people are not realizing. But at the end, I am just wondering what is going to happen to those networks when everything becomes so expensive. And I think that's one of the main reasons why we don't see adoption from the real life, because assuming that if you're a company, you're trying to build something that's based on the blockchain. If that something costs, let's say, $10 today and maybe $100 tomorrow because the network activity is has huge spikes, then you're not going to be able to sustain that business. should you be selling it for $50? Should you be selling it for $500? Or should you be changing your pricing according to your blockchain expenses? This becomes a lot of uncertainty for the end, because I can still say that the end user, a person who is not, who has not so many experience with the blockchain technology, cannot relate. It's basically like today I go to grocery store and if buy some bread, it's $2. Tomorrow I go, it's $8, and the day after I go, it's only 50 cents. So this is not something that usually happens, and I think that's why scalable, cheap, layer ones networks are going to be the future of the blockchain technology.
Definitely agree, 100%.
So I think it's already more or less 40 minutes. Before we end the Omchain talks, I just wanted to ask, like, if is there anything specific that you would want to add, anything that we have missed, anything that you wanted to talk about but you couldn't because I was talking too much. Um,
No, no,
any
no. It
good?
was it was good. I think we're on the same page with pretty much everything. Um, yeah, I would just encourage everyone to look into DAG-based technology. Fast and fearless is the future, in my opinion. And yeah, that's pretty much it. I really appreciate you inviting us on here to speak. It was a great discussion, and I appreciated your input as well.
All right, thanks a lot. So, folks, thanks a lot for tuning in to today's Omchain Talks. If you haven't followed Vitaino or Bobster or me or the Omchain, what you can do is you can, tap on our profiles individually. It takes only maybe 10 seconds to follow all of us to keep updated from the, recent news, both from the Vitaino and Omchain ecosystem. I can say that we're projects that are both aimed to deliver, the maximum speed and the minimum fees, and we both believe that, if I'm not mistaken, we both believe that it's gonna be the future. So if you're not, following us, keep following and check, our social media accounts for updates from both projects. Again, Bobster, or should I say, Tyler? Thanks a lot for joining in. It was really awesome. It was really a pleasure for us that you were here today, because I was, hearing about Vitaino from people, but I'm not going to be lying. I didn't know anything about the project until we had a little research, and now that I'm learning it from you. So if the listeners are feeling the same way, just like me, so you can go to vitaino.org and go to product section. You're gonna see a lot of different products that are being developed right now, and you can go to their socials and join their community to give some support to the team so that they can deliver the best product out there. All right. Thanks a lot for tuning in, and that's the end of the Omchain Talks. Have a good day.
Thank you, man. All right, bye bye.